Uh, It is now my pleasure to welcome Professor Yannis Ioannidis, Fellow of ACM and IEEE, an exemplar researcher in several specific areas in databases and human computer interaction, and also the president of ACM. So, as the president of ACM, Professor Yannis will provide a report on ACM and its activities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, Before I give you the highlights of ACM, what we are doing and what not, let me mute this. Okay. Uh, how many of you are members of ACM, student members or professional members? Okay, very good. All right. But not all of you. I spotted a few of you up there. So, well, listen carefully and then by the evening become members. So, so let me give you a bird's eye view of ACM. Um, uh, uh, this annual event of ACM India is a highlight of the year. And now in my second year as president, having had the experience of last year, I was looking forward to coming back and the exchange and the laureates and the students and so on. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to be sharing with you what is happening in ACM. I just want to quickly go over the mission of ACM to emphasize a few things. This was written more than 20 years ago, 25, 30, something like this, and still it is to the point. And I'll be highlighting the key nouns, adjectives, and adverbs in this. So ACM is a global scientific and educational organization dedicated to advancing the art, science, engineering, and application of computing, serving both professional and public interests by fostering the open exchange of information and by promoting the highest professional and ethical standards. I wouldn't change a single comma in this. That's what this ACM is trying to do. The green highlights are the main focus. We do education and science, and we do all aspects of computing. And the red ones is how we do it. And I want to emphasize in the second green line, it's art, science, which is research, but ACM is not just about the researchers. It is engineering and application, people that are interdisciplinary with ACM. The director, and thank you for hosting us. It is great campus, great food from yesterday, as you said. It is. Thank you. Well, mathematics is the mother of all sciences, you said. I would say was the mother of all sciences. Now computing is the mother of all sciences and engineering. Um, so, and ACM is not just for research. It is also for engineering. It is also for the applications. And the other thing I want to emphasize is the global part. ACM is not American something or other. It is Association for Computing Machinery. And, you have a Greek being the president, so it cannot be American. So it is global, and the presence in India plays a very important role in ACM. So let me, no, wrong. So let me give you, most of you are members, but let me give you the aspects of ACM that can, okay, obviously I'm not doing something right. Or someone else is playing. Okay, so if we go to the region, to the geography dimension, we have regional councils like ACM India, ACM China, ACM Europe, and now we try to see additional structures like this. And okay. Okay. And the other part that you can be a member of and be associated within Mother ACM is either the special interest group that is thematic. We have 38 special interest groups on management of data, on graphics, on operating systems, and so on and so forth. So that's the thematic part, and also the social. And the key thing that we have there is ACMW, which is for women. And we have here with us the chair of ACMW Global, and we also have here the chair of ACMW India. So independent of whether you are a woman or a man, talking to these ladies makes a very big difference, because everyone should be represented according to their representation in the community, and ACM is making a very special effort for this. And so, where is my Mac? Okay, and you can belong to any of this, but the nucleus is the chapter, and you can have chapter, and who owns a chapter. It can be it's mandatory to be kind of geographic, and if it's a student chapter, through a university. If it is a professional chapter, through to be local in a country or in a city, if it is a big thing. And optionally, it can be associated with a special interest group. So there are about 700 chapters in ACM, and a third of them are in India. And look at the map. Okay, I mean, this is a map of Asia, and not all of Asia. Look at the density of the chapters in India, close to 200. And if we zoom in, I mean, you can see even more. So India is doing it right. And it's showing the way to many other parts of the world. And this is, it's not just the size of India, it's not just its importance in the computing industry and academia, but it is the fact that it's doing it right, and this is very important. ACM, besides of the various things that I told you about, the regional councils or the special interest groups or the chapters that you can belong to, has some horizontal bodies that take care of various dimensions of the services that ACM needs to provide. And I won't go to all of them to describe, but I want to focus on the last words in this slide that show the content that is created, what is given to the members and non-members. So for diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is very different from region to region in the world, but everywhere that exists this issue, there are many webinars that support improving the diversity. If you're a practitioner, if you are in industry, or you'll be going to industry, there are many tech talks, again, like webinars, and podcasts, like podcasts specifically for practitioners that focus on particular technologies, particular new fields or new ways of doing things, nothing to do with research. And there is a library, is a crown jewel for ACM, publications board, many journals in many fields, I mean, always following the trend, tremendous conferences, and many of you are students, and it is often, not in all universities, but the curriculum that is followed for computer science is from the curriculum published by ACM with a EEE and AAAI, and it's just fresh out of the oven, the new one, CS 2023, with many innovations on how to approach computer science and engineering and technology policy influencing policymakers. Because computing now affects every single aspect of our lives. You cannot go even to grocery shopping without computing somehow being involved. And so whatever we do impacts the world. And policymakers need to understand and create policies for this. And of course, policymakers have no clue. It is our responsibility to educate them so that they can come up with the right policies. So, this is roughly what is happening in ACM. Now let me just highlight some initiative that has been going on for, from conception about a year plus, and now it is moving into the implementation. It is called ACM 4.0. And it is what we do for the next 25 years, because 2 years ago, ACM was 75 years old, so it's the fourth quarter century of its life. That's how it is 4.0. And this initiative, ACM 4.0, It has 10 presidential task forces. The president, right now it's me, it is focusing on create on 10 different dimensions where ACM needs to change. And ACM, through its products and services, it's trying to serve its members, but also trying to serve society. Remember, professional and public interests in the mission. And so, very quickly, I'll go through these task forces. 3 of them have to do about members, a membership model. How do you become a member? What does it mean to be a member? Globalization, to increase the footprint of ACM around the world. And be distributed according to the presence of computing professionals around the world. And youthification. We want you. We want the new brains, the new way of thinking, serve you, and also we want your ideas on how to serve you or how to improve for the good of computing society. For society at large, we have how do you how many of you are familiar with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? Okay, very few. In 2015, the United Nations came up with 17 goals of the development of the world. And they said, as the world develops, the goals should all be sustainable. We cannot continue doing things the way we have been doing. And there are 17 very big goals, none of which can be solved without computing. So if ACM, what are the ways that ACM can help so that computing professionals get involved in voluntary work or in an actual work, funded work, but catalyzed by ACM? The Code of Ethics, which is again another crown jewel of ACM, but how do you actionalize it? How do you do open science, which is slowly becoming the way of doing science in the next 5-10 years? I think all of scientists in all fields will be working openly. The overall product portfolio, and 3 things on the inner workings of ACM: financial model, religion, office, and bylaws. I won't go into the details of all of them. The special interest groups work and the journals and everything, other activities focuses on technology. I just want to say 2 words on the 3 presidential task forces that have to do with values. They are not technological. They need support from technology, but that's what it is. This is a picture that has been haunting me for the minute I saw it, and it shows the challenges, the societal challenges that we have to face, some of them. And down here it is some parent telling their child, wash your hands and everything will be fine. And then COVID hit and everything was not fine. But COVID, as much of a problem it has been, a disaster, it is dwarfed by the economic recession that came before COVID and especially during COVID. Many more people died of poverty than of COVID. Okay, so we have to be careful of that. And then recession is dwarfed by climate change, which is dwarfed by biodiversity collapse. And the original picture stopped there, but 2 years ago we had war, and this is dwarfed by war. So what do we do as society, and what can computing professionals do to help alleviate, mitigate, adapt to all this? And ACM can have a big role to play there. So trying to work with the United Nations so that we can establish the right instruments for computing professionals. And this is, of the 17 goals, 4 are in biosphere, 8 is in society, like no more poverty, and equal education for both genders and for all genders and so on, and economy, and then 1 meta goal. So this is one of the task forces, the presidential task forces that will be trying to establish to help. The other one is professional ethical standards. ACM has many policies on how to proceed in professionals, computing professionals, to conduct their lives. Remember the last line of the mission, having the highest professional and ethical standards. Well, we have a code of ethics. Many societies around the world have adopted it as is, but how do you actionalize it? How someone in industry working, on the one hand, they have what the boss says to do, and on the other hand, you have the code of ethics. How do you reconcile these two if there is a conflict? So that's that presidential task force. And finally, open science, which means that you don't do your work hidden, then you publish a paper, and then you forget about the paper, you lose the data, nobody knows how you did it. It's not repeatable, it's not reproducible, it's not reusable. Openness says everything in the open. Even one reviewing of a paper, the review is open and you sign the review. It's in the extreme form of openness. And even UNESCO says, this is the way. So United Nations again cares about open science because it helps collaboration among people, reproducibility, transparency to society, and then trust. Yes, what you did, it's here, I can try it, and therefore I have a means to say, yeah, I trust what you told me. And speaking of trust, this is a picture that I like to show. I haven't found any other picture that really captures the concept of trust as vividly as this one. And if you notice, the lower guy, it's his body is like an A, the way he's extended, and the way she curves her body in the middle, it's like a C, and then if you really extend your imagination for the third guy, you get an M. So ACM means trust. So I definitely declare, not just as president, but just even as a simple member, I am ACM, and I'm inviting you be too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, President of ACM. As a small token of appreciation on behalf of ACM India, we've planted a tree in your name, and this is the certificate for your tree.